What is up, guys? Welcome back to part 22 of the WordPress tutorial for beginners series. We're really getting up there now. And in this video, we're just going to be focusing on a little bit of image optimization, both manually and automatically. And my plan is to keep it under 10 minutes, so let's just jump right in. The image that we're going to be working on is the one that is in our top slider. And you can do this for all images in the site, by the way. This isn't just for the image in the top slider. So anybody that wants to edit any images anywhere on their site, this is a good method to do this either way. And I kind of talked about this previously, which is you're gonna need some kind of photo editing software. So whether it be Photoshop, GIMP is a free alternative to Photoshop. It's really good. I've used it a lot in my past, but we're actually going to use a web-based one because it lets you put in the URL to get the picture. And I have it up here in the bar, and it's actually called a PIXLR. It's spelled PIXLR.com, and it's the PIXLR X Express product. And this is actually free to use. I'll probably include a link in the description to come right to this page. And when you come into here, you're going to see this screen, and this is your ability. This is where you can load in a picture. And on the left over here, you can either open it from your local computer or load a URL. And back in our media library, this is when you click media on the side here to look at your library. And we scroll down to that picture. It's right here. And if you open it, the link right here is the actual link to the full-sized picture. So we can take that, load URL, put it straight in there, and load it in. And there it is. So this picture actually is about 300 KB, which, like I tried to say before, is a little bigger than I usually like them. I used to like them like about half that size. So we're going to try to create it half that size. Now, we don't really have to do anything with the picture itself. We could resize it, and that would take down the image size. But another way to do it is to just hit save from here, and you have this quality drag ability. And as you can see, it's going to tell you what the image KB size is. So see, 200. Let's drag it down to like 60%. All right, 117. That's pretty good. And you want to leave it as a JPEG. A PNG is going to make the image huge. Yeah, see, 5 megabytes. So JPEG is definitely your best option. 60% quality is pretty good. But say we were going for that 125 range. There we go. Something like that right there would be perfect. How about 63? Let's see if that gets us any closer. And okay, so let's go back to 62. I don't know if this takes points. Oh no, it doesn't. Or maybe it does. 2.5? Can do that? Nah, just rounds up to 63. All right, so now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and just save it. Actually, I hit enter by accident, so let's just do it one more time. And let's cruise this back down to 62 again, and just click off it. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and download this, and we're going to save it, and I'm going to go ahead and upload it to the site. All right, so I uploaded those files in, and they're right here. I actually uploaded 2 of them. And if you open it and you take a look, you're going to see that the file size is now 124 KBs. This has been optimized for our site. So back in our front here, if we just go to the customizer. Okay, so back here in the customizer, if we go down, scroll on down and hit that, open up the slide item, and then upload a new image, and we pick from our library, should load in those images, and we pick that new one, insert it in. You're going to see almost no difference. Well, actually, that quality was quite a bit different. Okay, actually, I realized something here. I just had to break off for a second because the image was shown in low quality, and even at the quality we saved it at the 150 or at the 125, it should have been decent quality. So in that 125 picture or in the one that's 125 KBs that we uploaded, in this particular theme, when you go to upload an image, sometimes at the bottom, see, this is that one right here with the 124 KB. Sometimes down here at the bottom, you have to insert it as what it wanted, and it was set to large. So it was actually taking an 800 by 500 picture and trying to blow it up to fit, but the full size is what we wanted, and then we insert that in. And as you can see, this looks much better. And also, this image is half the size of the other image that was in the site. And that makes a big difference on load time. The other image would take exactly double the amount of time to load in this page. And if we take a look at some of these bottom pictures, I'm sure we're going to find the same thing, that these pictures here are decent sized as well. And yeah, look how big this is. This image is huge, but look how small it gets pushed on the front end of the website if we go back. Right, so these images could be crunched down tremendously. I mean, look how little it is right here. It's probably only, well, let's use Jing real quick and take a look. So this program's called Jing, by the way. You can download it for free. And it just takes snapshots of your screen. So this is only basically a 260 by 275. This is a pretty small image, but if you look at it in its own tab, So as you can see on this image, when you hover over the tab, it'll show you how big it is. In this case, it's 725 by 773, but it's being crunched down to only a couple hundred pixels. So this picture is actually very big. And let's take a look by go ahead and just copying this and going back to PIXLR and maybe going back home and loading in a new URL and see how big this thing really is. Okay, so we could do the same thing with this image in here. We could change the canvas size if we wanted to, which is making it smaller, keeping it center pointed, relative change, and then we could say, you know, make it 500 by 5 or 500 or 400, and it would be smaller. And then we could come back and we could upload that into the theme spot on our customizer and change each one of these as well. Essentially just making sure that all of our images are crunched down to fit. And that's kind of the manual way to do it using this PIXLR software. If you had Photoshop, or if I was showing this in Photoshop, it would be very similar, except that you pull down from the file and there's a save for web and devices screen, and I'll probably show a screenshot of what that looks like, and you would use that. And that's how you would do it for manual image optimization. You want to make sure that you do that with every image you put into your site. It's easier to do it before you upload them, by the way, and that way you don't have to do it after the fact. But I set this up on purpose to show that the images could be crunched down to half size without really losing any of your quality. The other way to do this is through plugins, and one plugin that's pretty good for this is a plugin called Smush, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. And Smush does this as well. If you just type in Smush, you're going to find it's pretty popular, and it's exactly for this purpose. It's for compressing and optimizing images, and this is a pretty cool service as well. It kind of does what we were doing here manually, except it does it automatically, so you don't have to go through each and every picture and do it the way I'm doing it, which, like I tried to say, is only because I'm doing it post putting these pictures in, when I would usually do it before my pictures ever even get on the website. They're all optimized anyway. But this still isn't a bad option if you're attempting to just smush down. And so if you go to the dashboard, it adds its own flyout over here. And you go to the Smush, it will look at what you have in here that it could make faster. And then like it says here, you have 259 that need smushing, and it could go ahead and do this. And essentially what you do here is you just hit bulk smush, and it would go through and do all the images, and that's kind of what it's doing now. And that's pretty much it. This plugin will handle a lot of this stuff for you on its own, and I'll probably make a video on more in-depth use of this plugin. But if you're looking for something that's a pretty good plugin that just goes ahead and handles your images for you and helps create a faster website out of bulky images, this would be the way to go. And as you guys know, this website is pretty image laden. It doesn't really have a whole lot else on it. Very little text. It's got mostly pictures on it. And so we want to make sure that those are smushed down as low as possible, which is good for SEO. Faster load times equals better SEO. So in this video, we used PIXLR, and I'll leave that down in the comments or in the description, like I said. And it's pretty cool software. And if not, go ahead and get GIMP. We can go find GIMP as well, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's at gimp.org. This is a pretty cool software, very similar to Photoshop. It's almost exactly the same, except that it is open source and free. And so that's pretty cool, and that's a good alternative for Photoshop. I think that's going to wrap us up for 22. This is a pretty simple video, just meant to kind of give you an idea of how to smush some images down on your site, or how to make them more optimized very quickly and not get hung up in it. Because a lot of times when I'm showing these videos, it's just meant to do stuff fast, not get you hung up in hours-long tutorials, because there's a million ways you can do the same thing. And I'm just trying to show the most practical ways. If you're going to do it manually, just resize them manually, and then make sure you pull the quality around to where you want it. If you want to do it through a program, go ahead and get GIMP. This is pretty much usable on all desktops, from Linux to OS X to Windows, so you can use it on anything you want. And if you have Photoshop, just use Photoshop, because I still prefer Photoshop the most, because that's what I'm used to. But like usual, subscribe, comment if you have any issues, or you want any help with anything, or you have any recommendations for me, any better plugins or things that maybe I didn't show in here, let me know, and I'll take that into consideration. Other than that, I will see you guys in 23.